Closing nights are always a little bit sad, and I actually feel incredibly sad because it's been so much fun to get back to cinemas this year. But if you're going to go out with a bang, go out kicking and screaming with a film like The Tragedy of Macbeth. They worked on the film, and it is good. You should be proud of it. We've got the European premiere tonight of an incredible film from Joel Coen. And I want to thank the A24 and Apple teams, and shout out to Zach Van Amberg, Jamie Ehrlich, and Matt Dentler in particular. But we're really, really grateful for Apple and A24 for working with us on the film. And what an incredible adaptation of Macbeth this is. Joel Coen he really centers the play, the theatricality of Shakespeare's Macbeth, but he also creates a work, as you're going to see, that's so steeped in cinema history. It's dazzling, it's visually incredibly beautiful, it's atmospheric, it's stunning, and this is down to every single person playing a huge, huge role. It feels like a real collective effort, and I want to shout out Bruno Delbonnel's crisp black and white cinematography that you're going to see in a minute, Carter Burwell's incredible moody score, Stefan Deschamps' designs, but really at the heart of this film, it's about the words, and it's about who delivers the words, and the performances are just so incredible, from Denzel Washington, Frances McDormand, and Catherine Hunter, who open the film you're about to see, to every single member of this cast. I mean, it genuinely, when we saw it this summer, made us tingle, made the hairs stand up on the backs of our necks, and I'm really, really excited to introduce tonight's director. Please welcome Joel Coen.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, some thank yous I'd like to make. I'd like to thank the BFI London Film Festival for having us here tonight, for giving us the opportunity to bring our version of this story back to the country that it came from. And I've had some great collaborators on this project that I also want to thank. This is the first film that I made without my brother. So how fortunate I am to have had William Shakespeare to lean on. I had Denzel Washington, who took the plunge into this part without a moment's hesitation. And also here tonight, one of the greatest partners, really, that I've had the privilege of working with, the cinematographer, but more than a cinematographer, Bruno Delbonnel, and I'd like him to come out. And finally, someone who's been my partner for the last 38 years, who played Lady Macbeth when she was 14 years old, and said that she would play it again for me. And then she stood next to me for the next 2 years and produced this movie, Frances McDormand. So I'm going to give the microphone to you.
Hello, London. Thank you for having us. We are delighted to be here. And now I would like to introduce some of the company who are here tonight. Our captain, Ralph Ineson. Our Banquo, Bertie Carvel. Angus Robert Gilbert. Ross Alex Hassel. I feel like I'm on a game show. Seaward Northumberland Richard Short. Malcolm, the Prince of Cumberland, Harry Melling. And Macbeth, Corey Hawkins. And which number 1, number 2, and number 3, Catherine Hunter.
Fantastic. You guys keep that. Joel and Frances, I just wanted to ask a couple questions before we leave people with the audience. And I wanted to start, Joel, for you. I mentioned in my intro that I love the way that this sort of treads into aesthetics, two worlds, that of theater and that of cinema. How important was it for you when you started making this that you stay true to both of those traditions and those schools?
Yeah, that was the ambition from the beginning, was to retain the playness of the play, and but design it in such a way that everything was sort of designed around the fact that a camera was watching it and it was going to be a movie. And it was just something that evolved, I think, between Bruno and I and the production designer, Stefan Deschamps, over many, many months before we started shooting the movie.
And Frances, what I loved from hearing you guys speak at the press conference today is this was a collective effort. This was a real sort of beautiful group effort. How much did your experience in theater did you bring to as a producer to help Joel sort of create that sort of company feeling that we feel in the work that you made?
Well, we had the great good fortune of Joel and Denzel and I worked for probably about 6 weeks over a period of time together. So we had our scenes as the couple pretty well locked in, and we kind of knew where we were going. And so then when we were able to gather our company, we had 3 weeks of invited rehearsal, unpaid invited rehearsal, and everyone came, mind you, everyone came, and we really rehearsed it like a play. We sat around the table, we worked with the text, we got on our feet. Joel taped out some of the topographical areas we were going to be inhabiting, and often not everyone was always there, but sometimes we would take each other's roles, which was also really inspiring, I have to say.
And one of the things that I think people are going to see that we loved about it is that you really do, there are different nationalities, different dialects, different accents, backgrounds. For us, when we saw it, we thought, you know, Joel, you mentioned that Shakespeare wrote it here, but Shakespeare is everyone's collective heritage. And I think the way that you produced it really underlines that. Was that something that you were really steadfast about from the very beginning, either one of you?
Well, I'll pass it to you, but one of the first time when we first met Denzel said to Joel, "What about the black and the white of the thing, Joel?" And Joel said, "Yeah, we're going to shoot it in black and white." And I said, "Denzel, I know that's not what you meant, but that's his answer, and that's as far as he's going to go."
Should we leave it there? Enjoy this gorgeous film. Thank you and congratulations to all of you.